Check it out. Never knew a friend till I met a foe. Never knew pain till I met the game. Never had a real team that could win the rain. Never knew what a friend could do. Never knew I'd be bruised all black and blue. With my back to the wall. Scrap with my dogs. Rap with my dogs. Cat with my dogs. Fly with me in the land. Oakland, Los Angeles. Real homies never turn to run. Even if a young sucker wanna pull it. Even if a young sucker wanna meet the sun. We gon' rep to the death where the roots is from. These shades another change.
Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. We're in San Antonio. The Spurs with home court playing here at the AT&T Center. We've got a chance here to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the floor for Boston, Kyrie Irving is out there with Smart. And it's Hayward. Then there's Horford. And it's Johnson in at the power forward position.
Yeah, now Horford really has become one of those elite two-way big men. And that's very rare. You look at most bigs in the NBA, they excel at either one end or the other. But this is one of those guys that does it all.
Johnson with a screen on Leonard. Hayward with the ball. Leonard picks him up. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
And watching Amir Johnson, Clark, he seems so casual about silently destroying opponents in the paint, and he's carried that air about him almost his entire career.
You know what? He's rarely had plays called for him, Kevin. He doesn't produce a bunch of highlights, but he's really potent. I mean, one of the league's best at defending opponents at the rim, grabbing in-traffic rebounds. Those both are valuable assets. Great assist that time by Kyrie Irving.
Boston on D. It's a three-point game. Here's Leonard. Rebounded by Smart.
And talking about Amir Johnson, he's really the last of a discontinued model, if you will. When the Pistons called his name in the 2005 NBA draft, the year before the rookie age limit was put in place, he became the last 18-year-old drafted into our league. And it did take him a number of years to kind of get up to the pro speed.
Now here's Irving after the miss from Pau Gasol. A shot by Hayward, wide open, sinks the three-pointer. Hayward's got 5 now.
Impressive start here. That's 5 straight makes to start the game.
Let's send it out to DB, who caught up with head coach Brad Stevens. Doris?
One player he said he's worried about in this game is Pau Gasol. He said with his length and touch, it's really hard to bother that shot. We're going to try to be physical with him, body him up early, and deny him position. And guys, that's what a lot of teams try with Gasol. Force him to really battle through contact. We'll see how it works.
All right, Doris. And the basket by Johnson.
Guys, did you know not once in Johnson's 10 seasons has he averaged more than 11 points or 7.5 rebounds a game? Sometimes he doesn't even start. And yet, there's a certain sect of followers who feel Amir Johnson is among the most valuable, efficient players in the league.
Here's Gasol following the bucket by the Celtics. Good work defensively by Horford.
And that was a difficult shot from mid-range simply because the defense was engaged.
Yeah, and I think the quickness of the closeout really threw him off.
Hayward with the ball. Leonard picks him up. 6 on the shot clock. Hayward goes in, loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Hayward's got 7 points.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And you know, Gordon Hayward was involved in one of the more fascinating NBA draft stories. It started after his father confirmed that Gordon would submit his name to the draft, but would not immediately hire an agent.
Yeah, reportedly, Dad created a highly detailed 2-page questionnaire that he gave prospective agents, which is not something that's typical.
Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Man, that is a missed opportunity right there.
And he'll be the first to tell you, Greg, that's one he should have knocked down.
Smart dishes to Horford. Pass to Smart. Johnson with a screen on Parker. Irving kicks to Smart. Three-pointer, Hayward, and the Celtics hit again from deep.
And on the topic of Hayward hiring an agent, it was reported that the questionnaire was just the beginning and that prospective agents also went through quite a grilling. In addition to that, you talk about a thorough process.
Boy, that was a thing of beauty by Parker.
Irving with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. Irving attacking, and it's sent back by Aldridge. Here's Leonard, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
You know, back to Hayward, obviously his first NBA contract was subject to the rookie wage scale, but his second contract, 4-year max deal. So whatever the Haywards have done as far as agent vetting, it's paid off.
Kawhi Leonard with another great season last year earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. David Lee's checked in for Gasol. Gay comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Ginobili in for Green.
And a huge lead here early to start.
Boy, you know, right from the tip, there's not anything they haven't done well so far.
They grab their own miss. Gay kicks to Ginobili. Over Smart. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
It is so hard to contain him. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it. And, you know, for Leonard, you can add that Defensive Player of the Year award to his hardware list, and that puts him in elite company, one of only 3 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP. The other 2, Jordan and Olajuwon.
Good. Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Outside, Ginobili, and that one's good. Ginobili's got 5.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received a car for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Kyle Anderson comes in for Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker. Brown, he's checked in for the Celtics. Hunter comes in for Smart.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Well, we've seen him before. He does not allow you to just get easy baskets. He's always going to make you work for it.
Gay can't get it to go. Boston leading by 11. Stolen by Ginobili. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Fires from deep. That's good. Ginobili's got a couple of threes now in the first for San Antonio. Boston's gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points rung up from outside here in the first. Irving passes to Zeller. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist.
And no doubt they've come into this game with a really aggressive approach, just pounding the ball inside.
It certainly is working. They're finding the open lanes to the hoop and owning this game early.
A nice shot by Anderson.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
Kelly Olynyk checked in for Boston.
Substitution. Kelly Olynyk.
1:07 left in the first quarter. The Celtics working the ball around now. Puts up a 3. Hunter no good. Spurs trail by 7. The 3 from Mills, and he gets it to go. Mills has got his first 3 points of the game.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You've got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
No good from Irving. San Antonio's gone 4-7 from three-point range so far in the first. From deep three-point range, Mills can't hit.
And, Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys, but if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
And he gets the bucket. And it's now only a 1-point Celtic lead.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
Both free throws good from Kyrie Irving.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
Ginobili outside, and the call will be against David Lee. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. For Boston, they have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight. The first free throw is good. And so Olynyk nails both of them. And Amir Johnson re-signed in Toronto. He's been a big part of this team for years, and he talked about
almost like a soccer atmosphere.
A lot of fans south of the border in the U.S. are surprised when they learn how passionate, Clark, the fans in Toronto can be.
You know, Kevin, that's so true. I mean, when they get it going at the Air Canada Center, that place rocks. And it's great to hear Amir talk about how that pumps him up and makes him want to do it for Canada.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Celtics.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
Yeah, and they've had a great start from beyond the arc as well. The three-point shot seems to be in rhythm.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Johnson is out there with Kelly Olynyk. Then it's Kyrie Irving. Then it's Jay Crowder. And it's Hayward in at the 2 spot. Now the dish to Horford. Banked in off the glass. Horford's got 6 points.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. Nobody near Irving. Can't hit. So the Spurs will take it the other way. So many people overlooked Pau Gasol prior to last season, seem to think that Clark, he is past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game, and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Leonard attacking. That ties the game. Leonard's got 4 points now in the quarter.
He's the kind of player that even the best defense has no answer.
Picked by Horford. And here's Irving. Inside. And finished off by Horford.
What a passing display he has put on here tonight.
Yeah, he's spoiling us, Greg. I mean, there's just another fantastic dime dropped right there. That one certainly should make the highlight reel.
San Antonio calls timeout. What a season for Al Horford last year. Such a great display from him and his team as he led the Hawks to the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
And for all the team accomplishments the Hawks had, Horford was able to hit some of his own milestones as well. Had his first career triple-double last season.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
And the foul call on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. Here is Hayward. He's got 15. It's good for the 7th time this game. He's shot 7. He has made 7.
Horford was really a cog in all aspects of the Hawks last season. I mean, a major cog. Just a consistent presence inside with his 15 points and 7 boards a game.
Here's Green. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Irving, good.
And for Horford last year, the numbers were down a bit, but that wasn't due to his play. I think the Hawks were just a more balanced team, and he could obviously put up bigger numbers if he wanted to, but by playing within the system, I think it allowed Atlanta to reach its true potential over the course of the regular season.
Leonard with the steal. Aldridge kicks to Gasol. And stolen by Hayward. Smart with the ball. He's up against Gasol. Hayward goes in, and it's sent back by Aldridge. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. Rudy Gay's checked in for the Spurs. The Celtics also with a sub. Zeller, he's checked in for Al Horford. Knocked away. For 3, Hayward. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Gay with it. Now guarded by Smart. For the 3. And it's Rudy Gay with the 3. Gay's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Irving for 3, and he gets it to go.
Back at you. I mean, they immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading spray guns from long range. Trading blows from behind the arc.
Last season, the Celtics had a solid 19-22 road record, Clark. Not the 500 mark most teams want, but a very good effort from a young team, and no one really expected that.
Yeah, and you think about this team that's still growing and has a lot of youth. I mean, that kind of road record, very impressive. Their fans should be feeling pretty good about what the future holds with this group.
And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And the Spurs with some changes. David Lee's checked in for Aldridge. Ginobili comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. Boston also with the sub. Brown, he's checked in for Gordon Hayward. Zeller inside. He's up against Gasol. A nice shot by Zeller. Zeller's got 6 points.
And thinking back on the Celtics, on the road, their away record doesn't tell the whole story. They won their last 7 road games in that tremendous playoff push. The lead changes hands once more. There has been no separation between these two teams.
You know, it's made for one heck of an entertaining game. Even when it hasn't been the best basketball being played, it sure has been fun to watch. Another away from home note for the Celtics. They were 7-1 in road games against the rest of their division. Their road play was the driving factor as to why they made the playoffs.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
And the jam by Rudy Gay.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was ultra safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be, remove all doubt on that attack.
Here's Smart. The kick out to Brown. He tries for 3. San Antonio with the rebound. And the Spurs pushing it up now. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You know what? Nice job there on the attack at the rim, drawing the contact.
And from a defensive standpoint, a good foul to save the dunk there.
And David Lee missing time early last season with that hamstring injury also opened the door up for Draymond Green to kind of take that starting power forward role. And give Lee credit, though. Didn't sulk, just threw himself into his new role as a super sub.
Smart kicks to Zeller. Shot to stop the run. Can't get it to go. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. And the wide open shot from Ginobili. Hunter grabs the miss. Greg, you're talking about David Lee, the 2-time All-Star. Pretty much a starter most of his career, though. A big change, Clark, as he came off the bench this past season after he was injured in the preseason.
Yeah, you know, you think about his game, though, Kevin. Highly skilled, mobile, smart, gives you energy in scoring. I think he's ideal coming off the bench.
Doubled by Lee, and the call will be against David Lee. That'll be his second foul of the game. Jay Crowder's checked in for Zealous.
Jay Crowder.
1:30 left in the first half of basketball. Hunter, the pass to Olynyk. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And the thing with Kelly Olynyk, he does some stuff that really helps you, and some also that will hurt. I mean, he's highly skilled. He's got the deep range, textbook positioning in terms of the post. A lot of tricky moves down there. Yet he has a hard time being effective against great athletes, which the NBA is filled with. So he's going to have to evolve as a basketball player if he wants to be effective.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Gay comes over with a double team. Smart with the ball, picked up by Ginobili, and that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. There's a minute left in the second quarter. Here's Hunter. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Well, and back to Kelly Olynyk. As a coach, you have to identify the matchups where he can be effective, because Clark is against explosive long limb guys. They'll take advantage of it.
Yeah, they will, but in the right matchup, he's effective. He can help. He makes 35% of his threes, has done that for the last 2 years, and I think he gives you some toughness and rebounding as well. I like him as a second unit player.
Brown, right side. And now in transition is Mills. Here we go. It's deflected. Crowder with the steal. 32 seconds left in the first half of basketball. No good.
And give it up for the little fella on the inside there. Great rebound, even though he had to really fight for it.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Celtics trail by 7. Got a piece of it, and stolen by Gay. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those, and this game could be over.
And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus. We'll go to the line to shoot 2. That's also good. So he hits both free throws. It's tipped. It's stolen by Brown. Here's Hunter. Cannot hit.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim.
So we've reached the end of the first half of...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside. The first quarter was all about Manu Ginobili. He ended up with 15 points and 1 steal. And that'll do it for now, as the second half of our game is...
The second half just about to get going here.
Looking at the game for Hayward, he has 17 points and 3 steals.
He's just been impossible to contain. He's been unreal in this game.
Utterly fantastic is how I would categorize that performance, Greg.
Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Aldridge out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Parker in at the point guard position. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. Well, the Spurs, Greg, great at home last year. That's not surprising to anyone who's paid attention. We expect that they're just so tough at home, year in and year out.
And Kevin, how about going 33-8 at home last season? And despite being a 6th seed, only the Hawks and Warriors, the 2 best records in the league, won more games at home. Hard to imagine we could be a 6th seed with that kind of success.
For the Spurs, it was all about being at home. That was a big part of how they went on the run. They won 20 of the last 22 games at home, in that stretch, which vaulted them from the bottom of the playoff picture in the West to as high as the 2 seed.
Smart dishes to Irving. Irving double team. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Spurs leading by 13.
And the Spurs at home are so great because they just don't miss. I mean, second in field goal percentage at home, shooting 49%. Also second in three-point percentage made at home with over 39%.
Dishes it to Johnson. Gasol with the steal. And the wide open shot from Green. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 5 assists in the game. Celtics trail by 16. Here's Irving. 7 points in the game. Kicks it to Hayward. The teardrop falls in. Hayward's got 19 points.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
San Antonio's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Smart kicks to Irving. Irving double team. Horford with it. Gasol covering. Hayward goes in. Irving, a good look. Takes a big height bounce and goes in. Irving's got 9 points.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Kyrie Irving may be the best ball handler in the league. There are a lot of guys with a good handle. He is definitely in the top 5. If not, he's got to be in the conversation.
And arguably the most talented player at his position. I mean, he can get wherever he wants to on the court. He's athletic, an unbelievable finisher as well. I think that's something that oftentimes gets underrated. Maybe the best finisher in the game.
Agreed.
Celtics call timeout.
So the Celtics call timeout. They're first.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season. But he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
And Gasol comes to help. The Celtics working the ball around now. Johnson with a screen on Parker. Down low. A rebound by the Spurs. Gasol's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning. Great outside shooting fueling this run.
And the D is getting bombarded. They haven't been able to slow them down the least bit.
And Hayward gets it to go.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Leonard against Hayward. Pulls it from 20. Kicks it out to Leonard. Leonard draws the double. He dishes it to Gasol. Right side Leonard. Over Hayward. And Leonard gets it to go on the assist from Green. 20 points for Leonard.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Down low. Deflects the pass. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Rudy Gay's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And a change for the Celtics. Zeller's checked in. On its way from Hayward for 2. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. Hayward's got 6 in the quarter. Spurs leading by 17. Shots good by Gay.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
And Rudy Gay picks up a foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Celtics making a switch here. Crowder's checked in.
Jay Crowder.
Aldridge against Johnson. 3-pointer. Hayward. Rebound San Antonio. Gasol's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
San Antonio's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. And that one's good by Gay.
Well, so far for Coach Brad Stevens, the Celtics have had nothing but praise for their outstanding young coach. No surprise for those of us who know Brad. The team is really moving ahead in the rebuilding process, and he gets a lot of the credit for that.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball. Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
And on the way from Irving for 3. The basket good off the assist from Hayward.
For 3.
That's 12 points for Kyrie Irving. And part of the reason why the Celtics are ahead of schedule in their rebuild is because of Coach Brad Stevens. He has everyone on the same page.
You know what? You talk around the league about Coach Stevens, and other coaches are just astounded by his work ethic. People around the league think he's already a top coach and could be one of the greats by the time he's done if he stays at the professional level.
Offensive rebound. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Spurs?
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
Well, it's been a super performance from beyond the arc, too. I mean, they've been raining in those threes.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Lee's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Manu Ginobili is checked in for Green. And Mills in for Tony Parker.
And his stroke has been dead on from the outside. I mean, inside, outside, it just doesn't matter.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
And, obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you've played, and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, sometimes you need to make some adjustments.
Boston making a switch here. Brown's checked in.
And they looked terrific in transition today. That's had a lot to do with their success.
Boy, it certainly has. I mean, they've done a really good job recognizing anytime they've had the numbers advantage, and then they've taken advantage. We've seen it time and time again here.
Tony Parker's checked in for the Spurs.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And for Kyrie Irving, it had been a long time coming. Last season, he finally played in his first postseason with the Cavs. And up until the unfortunate injury, he certainly made the most of it.
And that one's good. Parker. Celtics have gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the third quarter. They set the pick. Left side Irving. Irving double team. And the call will be against David Lee. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2.
Not the guy you want to send to the line, Kevin. Good game for Irving. 15 points, and the assist numbers, tremendous.
His court vision is on par with anybody. I mean, he could not pass the ball any better than he is right now.
Smart's checked in for Boston. Gay drives in, and he slams it one-handed.
Let's call him a speed merchant. I mean, he was a blur going in for that throwdown.
Boston's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2. That's good from Irving.
You take a look at this group of Spurs, and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. What Popovich said last year, he feels it might actually be the case.
Parker passes to Gay. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
You know, one thing about this San Antonio team, they just didn't go away last year. Pop himself said he felt they peaked in the 2014 finals.
You know, and you wonder if what Pop said is true. Spurs lost in the first round last year, and they'll be going through a lot of changes in the near future. And with the way they run that organization, they'll still be competing, I believe, for quite some time.
There's Parker with the three. The shot is off. Some solid defense there from Irving. Boston's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc, 6 of 15. And the call will be against David Lee. That'll be foul number 5 on him, and due to the bonus, will be headed to the free throw line.
Boy, perfect half at the free throw line for him. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
And Clark, those free throws need to continue if they're going to get back in this game.
And the Spurs making a change here. Leonard's checked in. Good.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
It's Brown on the wing. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Showcasing his skills with that slam.
He knows how to put the exclamation point on those, doesn't he? Man, oh man.
Does he ever.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us...
Here we go, San Antonio.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. The Celtics shooting has been just great so far, up at 56%. On the court for the Celtics, we've got Hayward. Horford is out there with Johnson. Then there's Irving. And it's Crowder in at the three, the small forward. And Leonard has it in the corner. Crowder with the steal. Irving against Ginobili. Irving kicks to Hayward. Misses the three. Spurs leading by 20. And it's Parker in the corner. Outside Leonard. Here's Aldridge. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Greg, they keep pulling up and watching them go down. It's a really nice thing to see. Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
Here's Aldridge. Off target from outside. Celtics trail by 20. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his third foul of the game. And the Spurs making a change here. Green's checked in.
Daniel Green.
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Crowder dishes to Johnson. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out. Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Irving drives in and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
Tipped away. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Lays it in off the breakaway.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thanks, Thank you, Kevin. Brad Stevens had some words for his team over the break. Offensively, he'd like to see them get the ball into the post as often as possible. That's where he thinks their biggest advantage lies. Something else he mentioned is that he's giving them the green light on offense. He wants to see a high volume of shots. With the minutes ticking down and the deficit still a big one, those adjustments have to be a chance worth taking, Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Talking about Pau and Brother Mark, both of them were excellent last season. The difference is that Pau has always been considered a great prospect, so detractors are much harder on him when they see cracks, I think, Greg, in his game.
Yeah, you know, for Marc Gasol, it can only exceed expectations because they started out so low. I'd simply say that if I had to pick between one or the other for best career, I'd do everything I could to pick both.
Good way to get out of it. Good answer. Outside Irving. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. From deep. Rebounded by the Celtics.
And just because you can make it from outside doesn't mean you need to live there.
Not that far out anyway, Greg. I mean, he can work for a better shot than that. Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
Shot on the wing. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Parker. 34 points for Kawhi Leonard.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
Horford with a screen on Parker. Irving passes to Horford. Johnson gets the bucket.
No misses for him yet in this quarter. Solid as a rock.
San Antonio leading by 21. Parker. But they'll get another chance. Here's the three. And the basket good. Parker's got 5 points now this quarter.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
And their defensive rotations have been non-existent.
And even 3-on-3 break. From deep. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That's his third foul of the game.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Picked by Zeller. The drive by Green. And it's denied. Bertans, the pass to Mills. Lets it go from deep. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
And how about the last 5 made shots have all been threes? The defense is just giving up a barrage.
Most teams get the message to cover shooters after 1 or 2 wide open looks at the three-point shot, but it seems like they have just not figured it out.
Brown kicks to Green. The Celtics working the ball around now. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Shots good by Mills.
They've stepped up their three-point shooting game in the second half. They're letting it fly out there with reckless abandon.
Not lacking in confidence, and I really like that. Sometimes you see teams get conservative once they get a lead, playing not to lose.
Here's Hanlon. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Let's face it, the defense is a step slow. You've got to take away the airspace.
They get a hand on it. Finish off the break. Hanlon's got 5 points now this quarter.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
1:37 left in the fourth quarter. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
This defense is giving their shooters free rein to operate from behind the arc.
And when you allow shooters to get in a rhythm, then you're going to have problems. because they can hit it even when you start to defend it with intensity.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today. There's a glaring discrepancy between these teams in that area of the game.
And it's been the difference. That's what's enabled them to build such a big lead, no doubt about it. Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it, just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Spurs.
Clark, their shot blocking turned out to give them a big advantage in this game.
Well, they were disciplined and focused, I thought, all game long, Kevin. Excellent defense around the rim.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Leonard. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. The Boston Celtics figured to be near the bottom of the league last year. In many ways, they outperformed a lot of people's expectations.
And by no means were they a contender at any point, but they very well could be ahead of themselves in terms of the rebuilding process.
Here's Hanlon. Drills the three-pointer.
And they feel good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home court.
I agree. Job well done. They gave these fans exactly what they wanted. Yeah, he'll make the walk of shame back to the bench. He gets to watch the rest from the sideline.
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. .26 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And Boston with the rebound. Here's Hunter on the wing. Green 18 feet out. The shot no good.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They poured it on tonight, Clark. A dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
I don't think they have anything but positives to take away from
LaMarcus, it looked like the team and you were really feeling good out there, making things happen at both ends of the floor.
It was fun for me, you know.
The 2K Sports post-game show.